What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about the KOTOR Remake yet again. Now, normally I would do a what's going on type video with this, and I guess that's what this kind of is, but I do have to say, have to be honest, I'm kind of coming at this with a lot of pessimism, a lot of, I don't feel very good about this game, I'm kind of concerned, and I'll tell you, I was actually looking into the Jurassic Park game that people are very, very excited about, and really, I think is Saber's big game, really, really big game that they're working on, and while looking through something that I found for that game that I was considering doing a video on, I actually stumbled on basically an absence. There's an absence of the presence of the KOTOR remake, and it's got me concerned. Okay, so let me show you what I was going through here. So originally, was talking about Jurassic Park Survival. I was looking at it, and because I was looking at the writer. Now, one thing I found through this was that Saber Interactive recently updated their header on their social media accounts, and while this is good for Jurassic Park, okay, not good for KOTOR, at least that I think. So you click on it, and this comes, X, Twitter, whatever. Okay, so Saber Interactive, developers and publishers currently working on Jurassic Park Survival, the Nightling, SnowRunner, Turok Origins, World War Z, and more. Okay, now, in terms of, like, the rumors and kind of what I was looking at for Jurassic Park, that's a good sign, right? Jurassic Park is the first thing on that list, so yay for them. However, I don't see KOTOR there, do you? Now, you could say, okay, well, Alex, what about the and more, right? Well, maybe when they say and more, they're talking about KOTOR. Well, number one, I still don't think that would be great, even if that is true. I believe it's not true, but I'll get there in a second. Even if it was true, I do believe the order and like where they put the games does actually matter. So like Jurassic Park is the first one because it is so notable. It is probably so high profile. We saw it a year ago at the Game Awards and all that stuff. And I do think, again, it is like the next big thing from them, right? That Alien Isolation type Jurassic Park thing. If you were working on KOTOR, though, and it was like legit, right? You would have it there. I truly believe, in fact, in terms of order, it would be 1A, 1B with Jurassic Park, okay? That's just a personal opinion, I suppose. However, you could say, well, Alex, it could still be the and more section, right? Well, you're right, potentially. Now, if you go on their own website, now granted, I don't know how often they update their site, okay? That's one thing where the header on Twitter was recently updated, so what they said there, like the order of the games and stuff, might actually matter more than what I'm about to say. But on their own website, right, they say about Saber Interactive is a worldwide publisher and developer consisting of 13 studios in the Americas and Europe, creating games for all major platforms based on original and licensed IP, including Warhammer, Space Marine 2, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Jurassic Park Survival, World War Z SnowRunner, and Expeditions, a Mud Runner game. They've also say, at the end there, in terms of like working on The Witcher 3 for the Switch, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Crisis Remastered, and many others. So, look, I honestly think that's kind of the same thing, right? They're flaunting what is the most popular. They're flaunting what is the most high priority thing for them, okay? I do believe that's the way, that's definitely the way I'm interpreting it. I think that's the way they want you to interpret it, though, right? Again, now, in this case, there's games on there that are not even listed on the Twitter one, right? So now we have two different locations of Saber, and you have not heard them mention KOTOR one time in either of those two. Okay, well, there's one final, Hail Mary, you could say. Well, they actually show games, right? So they have games upcoming and recently released Saber Interactive titles, okay? Now, you can go down all the way to Space Marine 2, right, now available, A Quiet Place now available, and then The Nightling, 2025, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, released to be announced, Turok Origins, Jurassic Park Survival. So they've got games that are coming out in 2025 because that's listed on the one, and then the other games to be announced, right? Not necessarily about like, when are these games going to release? These are games with like an unknown release date, but they are like officially official, right? They are coming out, and they're there. Again, you can scroll top to bottom, and you will not find KOTOR on there. Now, again, like I'm not trying to make it seem like it's new news, unless it actually is. I'm trying to be, transparent and honest. I don't know how often they change these things. I will say, though, they have to update this thing somewhat often, right? Because like when a game comes out, you got to change at least that release time. So Quiet Place, I think, came out in October, and that was, I think, their most recent release, right? So it's like some point after A Quiet Place came out, or even when A Quiet Place came out, they had to update that to, it's now out, it's now released, right? So it's like they check on this probably every couple months. There's really no excuse why KOTOR. So I don't know. I mean, look, is it anything like officially official? If anything, like I keep saying, it's about it not being there, right? Like to me, it's like it's not that they're saying, oh, it's canceled, or oh, we have 5 people working on it, so it's going to take 22 years. No, it's more about everywhere that they flaunt, which is fine. I'm not saying it's like when they say, okay, well, we're working on this thing, or get excited that we are doing this. They list all of these titles across multiple areas of the internet, and they never mention that KOTOR is one of them. So I don't know. It could still be some quiet. It could be like a lack of confidence. It could be that they're not confidence actually in the way that like they don't know what's going to happen with it, right? Like it doesn't even have potentially a publisher. Like Saber is working, but are like they also publishing it, because originally it was going to be PlayStation, right? PlayStation would publish it, and Aspyr would actually develop it. So maybe it's that. Maybe they can't legally put it on their site until it's got a couple more details announced. I don't know. I'm making up things. I truly don't know what the reasoning would be that it's not appearing on these things, other than they don't have certain things locked in, or it's canceled. I really don't want it to be canceled. I mean, would we lose that much if the game was canceled? Maybe not. Maybe not, because we just didn't see much of it in the first place. And I mean, it is a game I think that would work really well for a remake. But if it doesn't happen, I guess it doesn't happen. It would be really disappointing though, especially after we kind of had the save arc going on, where it's like, oh no, it's actually still okay. Aspyr or actually it was taken from them and moved to Saber, right? It's like, oh, it got saved. Well, now it's just kind of in I don't know if it's better that the game was saved and now is in limbo versus just canceling it in the first place, right? Like it would be depressing, but at least we would have like an answer, versus now we just have no idea. So that's just my opinion. That's just what I found online. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.